Min's Minute modcast with his mates, Mo and Sadia. Episode 228.
Yes, let's go!
Whoa, steady!
Awesome!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Min's Minute modcast with his mates. And today we have Satya and Mo. Hey guys, it's been another fantastic week in the world of tech and AI, and I think there's only one place we can start with, which is the craziness of ClawBot. And I'm sure everyone saw our friends at OpenAI thought, hey, this sounds fun, we'll have a bit of that. And now they're owned by OpenAI. Who would have thought? Who wants to kick us off on that one? Go for it, Mo.
All right, I thought Satya was going to say something. All good, I'll go for it. Yeah, so it's really interesting that a engineer, a developer, just working on their GitHub repo, just basically bought themselves a job, I would say. Like, it's getting your job, and as you know, all know, like these days it's really hard to find jobs. So many applications, so many unfortunate layoffs in big companies. One of the things that fascinates me, I'm looking at it from this angle, is of getting a job basically and getting hired. So nowadays I think for software engineers, developers, it's not enough anymore to just do applications and apply and stuff. I think this guy, the owner of ClawBot, he did a really strategic move, and I think it was his, I don't know, I feel like it was part of his plan, but maybe not, who knows, to get acquired, of course, and get a bigger job or part of something bigger. Because as a one-person team, of course, you can't grow that to a level that you want to, enterprise level and so on. So it's a good insight on how you can get a job, I guess, for engineers. The other angle, of course, OpenAI quickly snatching them up, and that's what's happening with all the big AI companies. They just want to get their talent in there. So they were first and fast. That was pretty good on them, and they got him on board. I think OpenAI in general, they're falling behind. So this would be a great additional feature or functionality that they can embed into their ecosystem to like level up against their competition like Google and so on. So exciting times for OpenAI, I would say. Not sure if it's good for the competitors, of course, but I'm sure that everyone will find another ClawBot person to bring on board, and they'll just do that, and competition versus competition.
I had two observations on this whole topic. One was, as you said, Mo, it's a great way to kind of showcase your skills to the world and probably become a billionaire overnight, right? And the first one was that you might have seen that they were like the fastest growing, number of stars on GitHub. God, like, what was it like? God knows, it was like ridiculous. How many?
Like 40,000 or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really big number of people that reused it. So that was the one thing. But then also the thing around vulnerabilities, and I'll get you to comment in a second, Satya, in terms of, because I think they looked at all of the people that used it, and then they'd openly found they'd shared their API keys, their email addresses, all of their previous chats that they had. And it was like, okay, is this really a good thing, right? So he's done well out of it, but in terms of security and vulnerabilities, there's like tens of thousands of people that created instances on the back of that, which now their data is just out there for people to steal and scam and stuff. So yeah, good and bad. Good for him. Maybe kind of some work to do for everyone else. Go for it, Satya.
Yes, my observation was more from the user's perspective as well, that yes, there are like 400,000 stars, which also means so many folks have trusted and created their own data set, submitted a lot of their information. And where does the trust even go now? So let's say tomorrow there's another kind of a personal agent or any of these, let's say, private LLMs that are coming up. How many of us will really now trust and really download it in our laptops? For me, I'm taking it with a lot of salt, because every day I'm trying to measure which of them are doing worse in ethical concerns. And it's not about being completely aware is one thing, but also how much of my data is being exposed to these systems is another thing. I'm to a point considering to have, as you said, mini Mac, separate Mac that is connected to a separate internet where I do all my experiments, and it does not me, like it has no idea who am I, because I'm just experimenting with a synthetic data. Because it's too dangerous for me, because in my laptop I have so much of my own information, from passport to a lot of my own identity details, and downloading LLMs, trusting one system, and now let's say OpenAI or any other company takes over, and now they know everything regardless of how much agreement I have signed with this particular company. So that is seriously raising concerns for me. And it's no longer, again, about talent war, it's about content war. I feel like, how much of the data do they have? How much of the content do they have? How much of the data can they train on? And yeah, that's for me a little red flag that's at the moment.